I didn't think there would be this much to talk about in a game like this where the Sixers were missing like 11 players. The 7 Sixers is what we were calling it. It was an absolute joke. It's debated whether or not the game should have even happened. But I knew for a fact that Tyrese Maxey was going to ball out, so we're going to talk about it. This episode of Run It Back Philly is brought to you by the Teespring store. Use the link in the description. Get all the Run It Back merch, including this In More We Trust t-shirt in whatever color you want, whatever size you want, whatever fit you want. Get your girlfriend one, get your grandma one, get your kid one, get your dog one. You know what I'm saying? Use the code RUNMY20 for 20% off. Also, buymeacoffee.com/runitback. I love sports talk and I love coffee. If you would like to show your appreciation for this sports talk that I give you almost every day, you can do so by buying me a coffee. Shout out to P. Harden. He says, I love the energy. Keep up the good work. Go Sixers. Thank you for the coffee. Shout out to Desmond Phillips. Thank you for the coffee. He says, how many coffees would it take you to shotgun a Four Loko? Asking for a friend. Yeah, too much carbonation, bro. That my chest would explode. I would never in the world try to shotgun a Four Loko, but we'll come up with something else because we did hit 20 supporters on there. So, if you want me to do something crazy, go ahead to buymeacoffee.com/runitback. Type your little message in there. Say whatever you want. Thank you very much. Let's get into this. Run It Back Nation, what is good? DJ Eastwood here. Hit the subscribe button if you're brand new. Hit the like button if you, to help me rank up on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like button, likes mean everything on YouTube. So go ahead and hit the like button for me. We almost hit 1,000 likes on the last video. We still haven't. We did like 950 on one of them. I'm trying to get 1,000. Let's do it. I'm going to give you 3 seconds to hit the like button. Almost flipped you guys off accidentally there. Don't forget to hit the dislike button if you're a fraud. Let's get into this, man. So, wait, first, I want to let you guys know we are starting subscriptions. We're starting, what the hell is it called, man? Memberships. We're starting memberships here on the Run It Back channel. It's going to be called Run It Back Nation. If you don't know what memberships are on YouTube, it works kind of like Twitch. It's a subscription service where if you're a huge fan of the show or the creator, you can pay a monthly fee, and it just helps out the creator. It's a way for them to earn a small income for all of the work that they put in. You know what I mean? Microphones, cameras, audio interfaces, expensive iPad Pros, all that kind of stuff is very expensive. Let's be honest, YouTube doesn't pay a whole lot of money unless you have 1 million views on a video. So it's just a way to show love, give back to the creator that gives you this content every single day. And in this, at the same time, you get some perks. So here's what we're going to do, man. It's going to be $1.99, the first tier. And you're going to get emojis in the chat, custom emojis, one with my goofy face on it. One with maybe a logo. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. You're going to get emojis in the chat. You're going to get emojis in the live stream, okay? The discount code to the merch store is going to be exclusive to the Run It Back Nation members, so the discount code is going to be only yours. What else is going to happen? We're going to do a members-only live stream once a week. I'm going to schedule that as soon as we hit maybe a certain number of members. We're going to do a members-only live stream, and I'm going to be creating a Facebook group called Run It Back Nation that will be invite only. Only members will be invited to the Facebook group, and then you guys can post in there, have conversations, have debates. We can have great debate conversations every day in a Facebook group that's exclusive to the Run It Back Nation members. Tier number 2 is probably going to be like $4.99 a month, and that's going to get you a personal video shout-out. And that's going to allow you to pick video topics. So maybe like once a month or once a week, depending on how many members there are. I think I'll start out with once a week. You'll be able to select a topic for a Run It Back Philly episode, and you'll get a shout out at the beginning of the video. I just came up with those real fast. I'll probably add other perks and things like that, but I just want to let you guys know Run It Back Nation memberships are going to be a thing, probably active today. in the beginning, I'll probably shout out every single person that becomes a member. So become a member and you'll get shouted out in the beginning and you'll get all of those perks. Sorry for such a long intro. Let's get into this. Yeah, I wasn't going to make a podcast episode about this game once I found out there was 11 players out and we were playing with 7 active players. But I did know that Tyrese Maxey was going to ball out because I figured, somebody has to shoot the ball, and he's probably going to have the greenest of green lights in this game. So he's going to shoot the ball a lot, and he's going to get himself some buckets. And I actually tweeted Tyrese Maxey's going for 40 tonight, and he finished with 39. So I called it. And I'm sure a lot of you called it too. The kid's an absolute stud. There's some things we got to talk about. It wasn't like he was just scoring on some G League team, by the way. You know what I mean? Some people are going to say, well, this game didn't matter. Denver wasn't really playing very hard, and that's a fair point maybe. But Tyrese Maxey just looks like an absolute stud. He looks like a scoring machine. I don't know what else to say, man. He's fantastic. He was scoring on a real NBA team. That's what I wanted to say. This wasn't 40 points in the summer league like Furkan Korkmaz. This is 40 points, 39 points against the Denver Nuggets. And yes, so far in the season, they have one of the worst defensive ratings in the league. But that's because they have a big, soft center that can't defend a fly, you know what I mean, who's a good shooter and a good passer. And we're going to get into that in a second. But they don't have a great defense, but still, Tyrese Maxey, absolute stud. The last Sixers player, the last Sixers rookie to drop 39 points in a game was Allen Iverson. But the only other Sixers rookie to have 39, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals in a game was Allen Iverson. Tyrese Maxey, Allen Iverson. Only 2 rookies ever to do that. This ain't a fluke right here, man. This ain't a fluke. I want to talk about his skill set for a second because it's just phenomenal at the age that he's at. He's 20 years old. His array of shots is so much fun to watch. He can shoot the 3. He can shoot the deep 3. I know that was some of my concerns at the beginning of the season. Can Tyrese Maxey shoot? He can shoot the 3, man. He can get to the mid-range. The one dribble pull up off of a screen. He can take one more dribble or one more step and do his little push floater. And by the way, I absolutely love the kid's push floater because it's not like a high arcing shot. It looks like he just pushes it right into the rim. It shoots a very high percentage from that. I would like to see the exact percentage of his floater at some point. And then he can get all the way to the rim. And there was times where he took it at anybody that was in front of him. And that's what I like. There's heart in there. There's dog in there. You know what I'm saying? You could put an electric fence or a wall of fire in front of the rim, and that kid was going at it. You know, it ends up one-on-one on Nikola Jokic 2 times. 2 times. Ended up one-on-one on Jokic 2 times and took it right at him. 6'2", took it right at him. You guys knew I was going to be hype about this because my favorite player of all time is Allen Iverson. And that's the only player I've seen since Allen Iverson that sees a man in front of him and goes and gets it. I know you don't want me to talk about Ben Simmons. I know you're going to say, Ben didn't even play in this game and you're talking about Ben Simmons. He didn't even, you just can't stop talking about Ben Simmons. It's a natural thing here that we're going to talk about Ben Simmons. It just is. Of course Ben Simmons is going to come up in discussion when you're talking about a 76ers rookie that just dropped 39 points in a game. Because we've been waiting for 4 years for this dude to shoot the ball. and he looks scared. He looks like he doesn't want it. And now we get a 20-year-old kid that looks like nobody can tell him he can't do it. You understand the thing there? You understand? Tyrese Maxey wanted 40. The last couple possessions, he was just bombing threes. He hit a 3 to put him at 36. He came right back down the floor and hit another deep one to put him at 39. And then there was a couple seconds left on the clock. Doc Rivers said in his postgame, actually, he told Maxey, hey, you're almost at 40. You got to go out there and get it. And he went to the rim. He actually got all the way there. He blew the layup for 40, which sucks. He would have had 41. But to finish with 39 is just incredible. And it's fun. It was a lot of fun. I don't care that we lost by 30. I don't care that we lost by 90. I don't care what we lost by. We lost by only like 15, by the way, but I'm going to talk about the game in a second. a lot of people are saying, well, he took 33 shots. He took 33 shots to get 39 points. Yes, that's because he didn't get to the line. A shot is only worth 2 unless it's a 3, right? He only shot a couple threes, and I didn't look at his exact stat line on the three-point line, but a shot's only worth 2. It was a lot of 2s, and he didn't get to the line. So 18 for 33 is a damn good percentage, actually. That's 55% from the floor, and he just looked incredible. So there's not a lot you can say negative about this performance, and it's just so exciting to have a player like that at such a young age on a rookie deal, because I think we have a dog. I think we found him. I think we found the guy. Maybe not this year, but I think we found the kid moving forward who's going to be the one that has the ball in his hands in the fourth quarter in a close game, a guy that can make the defense move, a guy that can blow by pretty much any defender, a guy that can make things happen when you need them to happen. And he's not just a scorer. He sees the floor beautifully. I'm so blown away by his basketball IQ and his level of focus and poise and calmness when he has the ball in his hands. He comes around a screen, and it's just he makes the right decision all the time. He either pulls up, he either hits his floater, he either goes all the way to the rim because he knows Nikola Jokic is a Pillsbury Doughboy, or they step up a little bit and he hits the open man and gets 7 assists in a game. This kid's very, very, he could end up being a 40-point triple-double type of player. He could end up being a, Russell Westbrook in his prime, but a better shooter, and a less selfish player and not a hothead and all those kind of things. But I am just absolutely insanely excited about Tyrese Maxey. You guys go ahead and give me all your thoughts and reactions in the comments when it comes to Tyrese Maxey in this performance. He scored more points in an NBA game. Now, listen, I got 40 dislikes on the last episode that I did about Ben Simmons because I knew there was fanboys out there and I knew they were going to be pissed about it, but it's getting to the point where you can't defend it. It's getting to the point where it's almost impossible to defend. I had somebody reply to me on Twitter, and shout out to you. I'm not dissing you or ragging on you or anything, but this is my thing with Ben Simmons fanboys. They'll type something, and they don't even realize how pathetic that is. This person typed, he averaged 13, 9, and 8 in just 9 games so far this season. 13? You're going to type the numbers 13 like that's good. You're going to type out 13 points per game. Bro, you don't draft a number 1 player overall for him to average 13 points a game. That is literally getting to the point where it's embarrassing. For context, Jordan Clarkson averages 16.7. That's what I'm saying here. It's time. It's time to actually tell the truth here. It's unacceptable for a player that was held that high to be averaging 13 points a game. If he was averaging 13 assists and 15 rebounds, you can make the argument, but 13, 8, and 7? Give me a break. Anyway, Tyrese Maxey scored more points in his first NBA start than Ben Simmons has in his career in a single game. And, that's not totally fair because Ben Simmons last year had the 34-point game against the Cavs and he sat out the entire fourth quarter. I would like to think, at least the mindset that Ben Simmons was in that game specifically, that he would have scored over 40 points, but we absolutely blew out the Cavs. Part of that was because Trey Burke was on the floor for 28 minutes and had 21 points and 8 assists, and it was a beautiful combination of Ben Simmons and Trey Burke, and somehow, some way, we unlocked Ben Simmons in that game. He shot 2 threes in that game. He hit one from the corner. He hit one from the side. He shot maybe 3 or 4 actual jump shots in the game. He was completely unstoppable and had a 34-point triple-double, and that's the frustration. That's the Ben Simmons that we want, and that's the Ben Simmons that we know can exist. But then he comes out this year and plays like he's playing right now, and it's so frustrating because we know you could be a top 5 player in the entire league. You got to want it. And I don't know how we unlock that potential, but I do know that having a ball-handling guard on the floor that can straight up absolutely get buckets helps out Ben Simmons and helps him unlock his game. So we're going to talk about where we should go from here in the future. But Tyrese Maxey has that dog in him. You know what I'm saying? He has that fight in him. If Ben Simmons had the mentality of this kid, Ben Simmons would have average a 40-point triple-double, and he would have posterized almost every player in the entire NBA in 4 seasons. He just doesn't have that fight in him. There's plays in this game where I saw Tyrese Maxey take it to the chest of Nikola Jokic, and I know for a fact Ben Simmons would have passed the ball. Or he would have taken a one-dribble little fadeaway hook shot or something. When in reality, he has the physical attributes to absolutely poster the hell out of Jokic and teabag him and scream in his face. But he just doesn't have that fire. And I don't know why. Shout out to Lawrence Curtis on Twitter. He reminded me that I made a point the other day about Ja Morant. Game 1, Season 1. He went out there shooting the ball because his main goal, his main objective was proving the haters wrong. They say I can't shoot. Watch this. Game 1, Season 1, I'm shooting the ball. That's up here. How are we in year 4 and you're scared to shoot? You know what I'm saying? Tyrese Maxey, Game 1, Season 1, I'm shooting the ball. I'm proving the haters wrong. And here's my theory on it. Here's my theory on the comparison. Okay? Ben Simmons is 6'10". Ben Simmons, his entire basketball career, has been way bigger and way faster and way stronger than every single player on the court. Watch his high school tape. It literally looks like an NBA player playing against a bunch of children. It wasn't fair. So he was always so much more physically dominant than everybody around him. He didn't need to put in the extra work to work on a post game, to work on a turnaround fadeaway jump shot, to work on his pull-up three-point shot, to work on all that kind of stuff. He never had to work on it. He walked into the NBA because of his physical gifts. Somebody like a Tyrese Maxey, somebody like a Shake Milton, somebody like an Allen Iverson, somebody like a Lou Williams, somebody like that, undersized their whole life. Every single scouting report about these kids is they're too small. They're too small. They're too small. They got to go out every single game and prove that they can do it. They got to go out every single game and prove that you can't stop me. So when someone like this gets to the NBA, he's already done it a million times. He's already gone out there and proven game after game after game on the high school level, on the college level, now at the NBA level. I got to go out here and prove that I can get buckets. It's a mind state. It's a mentality. It's something you can't teach. He's got the fire inside him. We'll talk about the game here for a second. I didn't really care about it that much. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody really did. It was a lot of fun to watch Tyrese Maxey. It was a lot of fun to watch some of these other guys. Isaiah Joe was on fire in the beginning. That was amazing because I was like, yo, we actually have a shot in this game. We were actually putting up a fight the entire first half. Isaiah Joe was on fire. Tyrese Maxey was getting buckets. Dwight Howard was out here getting boards. Damn, what's the little white guy's name, man? The shooter. I forgot already. I should have wrote it down. But that dude was bombing some threes. It was a lot of fun to watch these really underrated players go out and get points against a good I almost said good defensive team, at least not this season so far, but a good NBA team. The Denver Nuggets were in the Western Conference Finals last season. You know that. Now, I do want to admit that it looked like the Denver Nuggets didn't care about this game either. They cared about this game probably as much as I cared about this game, and they were just out there toying around for the first half. You could just tell they were playing the game like it was a pickup at the Y, you know what I mean? Throwing one-handed, no-look passes, catching it at the rim and just flipping it in. Will Barton just driving down the lane, like walking to the rim. Jamal Murray looked like he didn't even want to play the game, and maybe that has something to do with the fact that they were forced to play it even though there was a coronavirus scare. Who knows what was going on? It was a weird situation. The Denver Nuggets looked like they didn't give a flying rat's ass about this game. But then the second half came around, and they said, okay, boys, let's stop playing around here. We're not actually going to lose to Isaiah Joe and Dwight Howard. You know what I'm saying? So they went out, played a little harder defense in the second half, and ran away with the game. But Isaiah Joe ended up being 4 for 13, by the way. So he did not keep up the hot shooting that he had in the first quarter. Danny Green shot a horrible percentage also, but, I mean, he was just running up and down the court, letting it fly. It really looked like a pickup game at the local park. It is what it is. Weird game. Dwight Howard elbows Pillsbury Doughboy in the face. Nikola Jokic. And only Dwight Howard would be out there at 34 years old in a totally meaningless game that you know you're not going to win and be going so hard that he's throwing an elbow and getting a technical foul. I love Dwight Howard so much. This dude is an absolute psychopath. I actually think Dwight Howard has a little bit of Dennis Rodman in him. You know what I mean? He's a little bit crazy. Like, he's a gigantic person, and he's a little bit crazy. And, I mean, this is a dude that would probably get kicked out of the Y. You know what I mean? Kicked out of your local gym for fighting or whatever else. Because when competition is on, this dude doesn't care if it's a meaningless game. He doesn't care if it's a preseason game. He doesn't care what it is. He's going out there and fighting. And it's probably why he leads the league in technical fouls, like, all time or something like that. I think he's top 5. But Nikola Jokic, he's a good shooter. He's a good passer for a 7-footer. I know that's some kind of revolution. That's some kind of worldly, unbelievable thing, and that's why he's talked about so much. But this Nikola Jokic versus Joel Embiid thing is absolutely ridiculous. Get the hell out of here. Nikola Jokic doesn't move the needle on the defensive end whatsoever. He can't guard my 5-year-old. He can't guard Tyrese Maxey. He's taking a shot from a 6'2" rookie to the chest and getting absolutely manhandled. Nikola Jokic is a better passer than Joel Embiid. He has an incredible basketball IQ. He's like a 7-foot point guard. But if you're going to tell me he's a better center than Embiid, you're lying to yourself and you're lying to the people. I just want to let you know that. Joel Embiid is a better shooter, is a much insanely better defender, is a smarter defender when it comes to putting his body in the right place to block shots without fouling, right? I mean, he has more of a post game. Joel Embiid changes a game, is way more dominant in the overall impact of a game than Nikola Jokic, and that's not even close. Joel Embiid's the best center in the NBA. Stop giving me this Jokic stuff. He's big, he's soft, he's like skinny fat, you know what I mean? He has no muscle definition whatsoever. I'm not trying to hate on the guy. I wouldn't hate having Nikola Jokic on my team, but you're not going to tell me he's better and more valuable than Joel Embiid. It's simply not true. My mom was watching the game with me a little bit, and Jokic was running down the sideline when Mark Zumoff mentioned the fact that he's 25 years old, and my mom said, "That big white guy's 25?" She said he walks like he's 80. I said, I know, man. He's big, dopic, like has no muscle definition. He's a Pillsbury Doughboy. I'm not trying to hate on the guy. I'm just saying it's not even close if you're comparing him to Joel Embiid, so let it go. All right, so where do we go from here? That's what we need to talk about because you know the discussion was going to come up with Ben Simmons. You know the discussion was good. People were going to overreact to the game a little bit, say Tyrese Maxey should be starting, and we should trade Ben Simmons for James Harden or whatever else you want to say. Let me make sure I get my thoughts straight here and tell you exactly what I want to do. People saying you should trade Ben Simmons and start Maxey. I don't know if this means you should trade Ben Simmons and start Maxey because, like I said, I like Ben Simmons on the floor with a guard like Maxey because I saw what Ben Simmons could do with a Trey Burke last season, and Brett Brown hated that because he's a raging moron. So what I would do is I would probably still not trade Ben Simmons unless it's for a couple of certain players. But Ben Simmons' impact on the game is still phenomenal. I still think he can be unlocked. I'm insanely frustrated with him so far this season, but I still think he can be unlocked at least a little bit, at least average 18, 19, 20 points a game, you know what I mean, and get your rebounds and get your assists. I think we're going to accept the fact that Ben Simmons is a 6'10 Draymond Green. He's not LeBron 2.0. He doesn't have the dog in him. He doesn't have the fight, but he's big and fast. He's a big, fast passer guy. That's what Ben Simmons is. He's a big, fast passer guy. He can run past people. He can physically dominate people when he wants to, and he draws the defensive attention, and he kicks it out and leads the league in 3-point assists. And it's valuable to have. I'm not saying Ben Simmons doesn't move the needle and doesn't change your team for the better. He does, and that's why he would he has the value that he has, and that's why he would still have insane value in a trade package, because everybody knows if your team is bad and you put Ben Simmons on it, your team is automatically better. That's not rocket science. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an extreme Ben Simmons hater. I am frustrated with the fact that he doesn't have the fight in him and the dog in him to be a superstar that I know he has the physical gifts to be. That's what I'm saying. So I would probably start Shake Milton alongside Ben Simmons, and I would probably move Danny Green to the bench, and I would probably let Tyrese Maxey run the entire second unit, because I think him and Shake Milton being on the floor together takes away his shots and his opportunities to have an impact on the game, and it also takes opportunities away from Shake Milton to have his impact on the game. So I think what should happen, just my opinion, is that Shake Milton should start and get all of those pick and roll opportunities himself. And then Tyrese Maxey should lead the second unit and play 20, 25 minutes a game and be an absolute stud bucket getter off the bench and win Sixth Man of the Year, Rookie of the Year, all that stuff. This 39-point performance should not be overlooked. This does mean something. It does matter. I would move Danny Green to the bench. I would start Shake Milton next to Ben Simmons, and I would let Tyrese Maxey run the second unit and give him the green light. 100% green light, bro. Shoot 30 shots per game off the bench. Green light. Just green light. The kid is insanely efficient. I'm in love with his game. Green light Tyrese Maxey off the bench, okay? One way that I would trade Ben Simmons is that if the Washington Wizards... Now, I said trade Tobias Harris for Zach LaVine. A lot of people liked that. A lot of people didn't like that. Whatever. That's what this podcasting is. That's what this YouTube channel is. I throw things out there. I start a conversation. If you can handle it, you can handle it. If you can't handle it, go put on Sesame Street. You know what I'm saying? I said I would trade Tobias Harris for Zach LaVine, and I would still do that in a heartbeat. And you guys can hate it all you want or like it all you want. Who would I trade Ben Simmons for? Like I said, I think he has insane value. That's why I wouldn't trade Ben Simmons straight up for Zach LaVine. I think his value and his potential is still untapped, and he can be unlocked. And I'm hoping that Doc Rivers and Sam Cassell and Dave Yeager and this coaching staff can get it out of him. But at the end of this season, if they can't, I would move on from Ben Simmons. And if the Washington Wizards finally want to accept that they stink and Bradley Beal scores a lot of points, but doesn't really help them be a better team right now because they suck, and they want to move on from Bradley Beal, I would trade Ben Simmons straight up for Bradley Beal. And just imagine Bradley Beal, Shake Milton, Seth Curry, and Tyrese Maxey all running around the court with Joel Embiid in the middle, with Dwight Howard in the middle, with Tobias Harris out there still getting his points and playing the defense that he's playing this year. And I mean, that would be a very, very unstoppable team, and I think that might be a championship contender. That's probably the only way I would trade Ben Simmons right now. So I'm not on the, oh my God, Tyrese Maxey scored 40 points in a game, trade Ben Simmons. I want to see Tyrese Maxey play alongside Ben Simmons a lot more because it can open up his game. Hold on a second. So there it is, man. There's the Tyrese Maxey episode. You knew it was coming. I'm so insanely hyped for the kid. He reminds me of my favorite player ever, Allen Iverson. I'm so happy we have a player on this court that has the physical abilities to score whenever the hell he wants and has the dog and the fight and the fire in his heart to do it against anybody. I'm excited, and I really, really hope this game convinces Doc Rivers to give the kid more minutes. I really do. You guys give me all your thoughts and opinions in the comments. My name is DJ Eastwood. This is Run It Back Philly. Thank you for listening. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please give me a rating and review. Until next time.